Welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we're going to dive into the question, do you need a mentor or a coach? Now, if you're new to the channel, thank you for coming to the page, and we appreciate the fact you're giving us a shot. Check out our long library of notary content geared toward you to help start, grow, and scale your business so you have more revenue for your family, your legacy, and learn how to save time to spend more time with them and improve that quality of life by watching our videos. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share and like the content, and let's get into it. Now, should you have a mentor or coach? Now, my resounding answer to this question is yes, 100%. It's not even close. I am 42 years old, and I understand that it's incredibly important for me to save as much time as possible. So the main reasons why you should get a mentor or a coach, number one, are to save yourself time. It is the most valuable resource you have. You don't realize this when you're 20 years old. You definitely realize it as you're older. It always has been, it always will be. The amount of time that you can save anywhere is incredibly valuable because you can spend it doing something more valuable, whether that's spending time with your family or making even more money from your business in an hourly position or salary position. The point is, saving time is so crucial. If you have a mentor, they can direct you what steps to take, what steps not to take, so you don't waste your time. You get to the end goal that much faster. You get to whatever your next step is that much faster without all the headaches in between, which leads me to my next point of saving money with a mentor. And you might be thinking, well, doesn't it cost money to have a mentor or a coach? It does. However, that's an investment in many ways to save money because you don't have to waste it spending money on things you don't need. I'll give you an example. Should, as a new notary signing agent, you spend money on a website, social media manager, LinkedIn ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads? If you have a good mentor or coach that has a proven track record, they can easily help answer these questions. Or you can figure out yourself and spend $100 here, $100 here, $100 here, $100 here, and test and see what happens. Now, you're going to figure it out eventually. You're going to come to the answer, but it's going to take you longer, the time, and you're going to spend more money than you needed to, the money. So that's where having a mentor and a coach, there's money out front at the beginning, but it's going to save you a ton of time, which you can use to leverage to get more money. And it's going to save you money from a cost perspective, not going down paths you don't need to go down in the first place. Next, you're going to want accountability from a mentor or coach. They're going to be the one that will help push you. And if you're coming up with, I think I'm going to try this approach. Okay, well, maybe they're going to push back and say, let's think about that. Maybe that's not the best allocation of your time and energy. Here's where you probably should be spending your time. So they're going to help in that accountability standpoint because you're going to see them on a regular or semi-regular basis, and they're going to help push back when you're kind of veering off path. And then lastly, the main reason is you're going to have a forever resource. A good mentor or coach is always going to be available to you, whether that's in a month or 10 years. And having someone you can call on that has already been where you've been is an incredibly valuable resource to have, 1,000,000%. And if you don't understand, as you go through your business and you have all these questions, imagine if you could just pick up a phone and call someone that's already been there and be like, hey, how do I solve this problem? And they can be like, this is how you solve it. And you do X, Y, Z to solve it. Isn't that valuable? I would hope so. Now, here are the counter arguments against why you should not get a mentor or coach. There's really two of them. Number one is figure it out on your own. Now, again, 100%, you can definitely figure it out on your own. But again, the problem comes back to what we were talking about earlier. You can go to YouTube like you are now and watch video on content, and some of it's good, some of it's not so good. You can spend hours and hours on YouTube figuring out what could be good advice or what maybe isn't good advice. But until you actually implement that advice, then you're going to find out if it's good advice or not. But imagine if you had the advice from someone who's already been where you want to be. You can cut out all that time spent on YouTube University and trying this strategy, then this strategy. And again, it's throwing things against the wall to see what will stick when you're figuring it out yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that if you truly don't have the money for a mentor or coach, which I would probably argue is not possible. Because if you're in a business that requires startup costs, which is almost every business in America, including the notary signing agent business, and you have enough money to buy a printer, to buy a scanner, to buy E&O insurance, to get a commission, to get paper, to get ink, to get office supplies, you have the money to get a mentor or coach. I promise you, okay? Most of these coaches will offer, their coaching or their training for a one-time larger fee or a monthly fee. And most of them all offer a 30-day money-back refund guarantee. So, for 67, 80 bucks a month with a full refund behind it, if you don't like what they have to say in the first 30 days, spend that little bit of money, you have it, to get that coaching and to see if it's a good fit. Now, fast forwarding to my other counter argument here is going to be, you don't need to pay for a mentor or coach. And again, that's total BS, because if I were to come to you and you were in your industry for 10 years and an incredibly knowledgeable resource, and I came to you and said, hey, can I call you on the phone and talk to you for an hour and a half and ask you 50 questions about your expertise in the industry that you're an expert on? That is a valuable resource, and that's valuable knowledge that you clearly want. And me, I could give that information to you for free, but if I have half a brain, I would probably charge you for it. Because I understand that 90 minutes of my time is important. Again, it's the most valuable resource I have. So if I'm going to trade it, and I have to trade it, I'm probably going to trade it for money. And if I really don't want to do it, I'm probably going to trade it for a really large amount of money. So it is something that you have to think about. Now, you could get free coaching or free mentorship. It's possible, highly unlikely you're going to find it. And if it is offered to you for free, be suspect of the person offering it, because if they truly have something of real value to give for free, it's unlikely. Most people that have value understand the importance of that value and are not nice enough to give it away for free at all times, because they realize that people take advantage of that. So they typically will charge for that information. Now, if you do decide to get a mentor or coach, I'm not going to say use XYZ. Here's what I will tell you should look out for, and what I would suggest to look for when trying to find a good coach or a good mentor. First, do they have a proven track record in their industry? So if we're talking about notary signing agents, are they a successful signing agent for a long period of time? Now, this is all relative, what successful is and what a long period of time is, but to give you an example, if they are a signing agent that is doing, let's just say 70, 80, 100 grand, 150 grand a year, I would say they're probably successful in their industry. They are in the, if they're at 100 grand or more, they're probably in the top, 5%, top 8%, 5%, whatever, 3%, whatever it is of the industry. So yeah, I would say they're probably successful at that. Have they done it for, 3 years in a row? They got a proven track record. They clearly know what they're doing. If someone's been doing this and they're doing, $10,000 a month, but they've been doing it for 3 months, that's not a long enough track record for me personally. Doesn't mean I can't learn from them, but I would be wary. I'd probably try to find someone who's been doing it for a longer period of time, personally. Next, successful coach or mentor. That's great that they're successful in that industry. Doesn't mean they're a good coach. There are plenty of successful people in their industry that can't coach a lick. They can't relate, they can't explain their ideas in a succinct, digestible format. They don't have the emotional intelligence or EQ to interact with many different personality types. Whatever it is, they're not a great coach. So the next thing you need to look for is, do they have a proven track record of being a successful coach or mentor? So how do you find that out? Well, they should have, if they've coached many people to successful results in that industry that they're an expert in, they should have a lot of testimonials and a lot of reviews, all saying that. And especially testimonials, video testimonials, especially from many different people, many different walks of life that they have successfully coached. That's a really good sign that they know what the heck they're doing, right? For sure. Next, they should be relationship-based, not transactional focused. So what I mean by that is, yes, their time is valuable, their training is valuable, their coaching is valuable. So let's say you buy their course or their training, it should be pretty inclusive of most everything they're going to offer. Now, they may have other one-off things here and there, but for the most part, when you buy their main training or their main course, that should cover pretty much everything, except maybe a small niche thing here or there. So in other words, it should be incredible value. It should be covering everything you're going to need to know to start, grow, and scale your business, from documents to marketing to business coaching, somewhere in between, and it should cover a ton of information. And when we have additional questions, it shouldn't be, okay, sure, you can fire additional questions at me. I need X dollars more. Oh, you want that knowledge? Here, take this additional course for this many dollars, or take this additional course for this many dollars. In other words, if their library of things to sell you is relatively small, main training, and maybe, let's say a handful, 3, 4, 5 other, one-off things, probably okay. If it's main training and 40 different a la carte things you can buy, they're probably more transaction focused versus relationship focused. A truly good mentor or coach, once that you come into their sphere, they're going to be invested in your success and they want you to do great. And they understand that doesn't mean that you need to buy a billion other things to get there. Like, they understand that once they have bought into the main course and main coaching, that you're there as a resource for them. And there shouldn't be paywall after paywall after paywall after paywall to get additional information, especially in the same vein of what you're trying to find out. So if you buy a coaching for a notary and then you're asking about marketing questions and they're like, I can't really share that unless you buy this other thing over here. It's just like, really? Like, it should be pretty much all inclusive for the most part if it's notary training. And then if you gotta, learn about how to become a signing service owner, probably a separate thing, because that's not really individual notary signing agent training. That's like a whole other skill set. You're hiring staff, like that's a whole different deal. Like, it should be pretty all-inclusive, I would think personally, if that's me. Next, they should be available and approachable. Again, once you're in their sphere, they should be available to you and approachable. In other words, they welcome questions and they have weekly or daily office hours, email time, and they are responsive to you when you reach out to them via email, Facebook Messenger, however you do it, text, calling. They should be getting back to you and they should be welcoming those calls and be happy to coach. They're eager to coach. They're happy to coach because they're truly trying to instill success in you through their coaching, and they are invested in you. They want you to do great. You can feel that through them and through their coaching. You can feel that they really want you to do well. And then lastly, to look out for someone who's going to help you be accountable by pushing back on you when you have crazy ideas and being direct with you, okay? So if you come up with crazy ideas that don't make any sense and probably are going to derail you from your journey, they should be able to tell you, nope, you're crazy. You're going off the rails. Here's why. Here's why you don't want to do that. These are the reasons. Here's where you should be doing and spending your time instead. And let's get refocused. Okay, they're going to help hold you accountable. So those are the things I would look for in a mentor personally. Now, if you're asking me, if it's going to be in the comments, Brad, who would you recommend as a mentor? Of course, I'm very biased. I took Mark Wills's Loan Signing System 6-figure course when I started my journey in 2020, and that course has helped me have a 7-figure signing service business. So I'm very biased. So obviously I would recommend Mark because he's all those things I just talked about and then some. Incredible. That aside, if you're interested, cool. Check out the link below. That helps support the channel. Great if you do. No worries if you don't. And there's also a one-on-one notary coaching that is new that Mark has, that we're actually incorporating the 20 loan signing system ambassadors. So we're all signing service owners from across the country, and we're all hopping on a weekly office hours call every Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, where you can ask any questions you want about the business and we will just help you answer them. And the beauty is you get to fire away questions at 20 different people who have various skill sets and are experts in different areas of marketing and growing a business as a signing agent and a signing service owner. And they have a ton of perspective and a different skill set. So where you may come get a lot of value from me, if you're interested in numbers and profit and taking things from a very tactical standpoint, marketing directly to title companies, like that's all me. But if you're interested in more of a, let me be a strong networker and, focus on networking and let me get a relationship with lenders so I can backdoor into title, that's more Laura Jones from Indiana. Or if you're more of a networking with title and you're out and about and very sociable, that may be more of a Calvin Darville, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're interested in that coaching, also links in the description, help support the channel. If you do great, I'll see you in there. If not, no worries. Plenty of content here. So I hope this has helped you answer that question. Should you get a mentor or coach? I think 1,000,000,000% yes. If you don't want to waste time and money, that's just me. If you want to, knock yourself out. All good either way. If you have made it to the end of the channel, I appreciate you. I do want to share that if you have direct title clients that you currently do business with, we offer 10% commissions to notaries to introduce us to them. So all you have to do, send an email to your title client, CC me, Brad at superlativesignings.com, and say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Title Client, Brad and his team would be happy to help you fulfill any closings out of state that you need all across the country, every state in the union and different countries with Ron, bilingual, whatever you need, we're a one-stop shop, and we pay you 10% of whatever they send our way. So actually, as I'm filming, it's April 30th, so I have to get my April referral commissions sent out tomorrow, May 1st. Happy to do it. And if you're not interested in that and you may start a signing service in the future, then don't take me up on that offer, but I will link this video, how to start a signing service. Trust me, it's tremendously helpful. Check that out if you're interested. Now, if you're at the end of the video, you are what I like to call the 1%, the diehards. I appreciate the heck out of you. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share the video if you think it'll add value to anyone, like it, And until the next time, happy signings and peace.